Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. There's no denying that, Warzone's always got some controversy going on, right? Whether it is skill-based matchmaking or the servers or the cheaters or some crazy, stupid, broken gun, right? There's always something that people are hunting for a reason to complain about. And some of it's justified, some of it's definitely reaching in some cases, but there's been a new topic of discussion within the Warzone community since the launch of MW3 Warzone, and I think objectively it is not great news if it's something that continues to evolve and eventually potentially comes to fruition. So today we're diving into the details and breaking down how it could potentially be very harmful for Warzone's future. So as we get into it, if you enjoy the video, do me a favor, drop a like on it. It would be really appreciated as always. Seriously, much love to everyone who takes the time out of their day to support the channel, whether it just be watching the videos, liking, commenting, and of course, if you're new here or if you haven't already, hitting that subscribe button as well. We are on the road to 1 million subs, and you already know every single day I got you covered with news, updates, patch notes, meta breakdowns, all things going on in COD is right here. But what we're talking about today is AI, bot players in Warzone. And you might be saying, why are we talking about AI? It's been in the game for some time. Obviously, Warzone 2 sort of completely revolutionized that for Warzone because we had the implementation of strongholds where those were actively patrolled by AI players. We had the black sites with like the Juggernaut in them, and we've had AI players in Warzone for the better part of, the past year. And obviously, that's not really something that exists much here in MW3 Warzone. While there are still strongholds and whatnot, they're not as frequent by any means, or the black site's not as frequent and whatnot, so it's not something you're constantly seeing in game. However, what we're talking about here is a different kind of AI. This far worse. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not a fan of there being any AI or any bot players on the map to begin with. I don't like the fact that they were in strongholds, and we had a long time in Warzone where they were not even working as intended, where you'd open up a stronghold or a black site, and if you didn't take out every single bot, they'd start chasing you across the map, and then you're getting shot at, and you're like, oh, am I getting shot at? There's a team behind us. We gotta go push them. And then you go out of your way to do that, and it's just bots, and then you've exposed yourself on the map, and another team's gonna come in third party, right? Like, there was just so many negative associations and connotations with the AI and the bots from Warzone 2 that they're just not something a lot of players enjoy seeing in the game. But now there's been a lot of rumors recently, a lot of speculation about AI bots replacing actual players in a match of Warzone. So say you have 99 players in a game, and suddenly it's not actually 99 real players, it's 95 players and maybe 4 AI bots. While that might not seem like much, it's something that personally I don't view as a good thing whatsoever if it were to come to fruition. Now, keep in mind, like I said, this is rumors and speculation. I know there's been a lot of conversation about this, of people claiming they have, hard evidence that there's AI being put into the multiplayer games, or they found an AI player in Warzone because they weren't shooting back and they were just like running in circles. And to my knowledge, every single one of these clips that I've seen has been debunked. It's been proven that it was someone intentionally not shooting their gun, going for score, or it was just a really bad player that happened to find themselves in a lobby they probably didn't need to be in. For instance, James Crowder, pro player Crowder, posted a tweet the other day of what he thought was an AI bot in Warzone that was shooting a shotgun, just missing everything, not even resembling, a competitive player whatsoever, which is who, pro players like Crowder should be finding in their games with the cranked skill-based matchmaking that we have. And players actually dug deeper, found the account in question, realized, oh, this actually is a real person. They're just an Xbox player and they're not very good at COD. It is what it is, right? However, that tweet has since been deleted from Crowder, but Modern Warzone initially quoted it with some interesting information. Modern Warzone said this: have been shown evidence for weeks now that the framework for AI being added to Warzone was at least being worked on. Wouldn't be surprised if AI were already in Warzone matches at this point. Seems to be the standard for all BRs now. So this has been something that has circulated throughout the past year. I want to say there were some other insiders. It might have been Ralph's Valve. I might be misremembering that, but I know there was other information that came back, a couple months ago saying that Call of Duty was potentially looking into adding in AI to replace players in Battle Royale. And as Modern Warzone says in that tweet, other Battle Royales have done this. Most notably, Fortnite has AI bots in their game that you can actually fight, and they do behave somewhat like usual players, and that, at least to my knowledge, has not gone over great for those who actively play and enjoy Fortnite. And if we are in this scenario where this would exist, keep in mind, we've only known that there's evidence for framework of it according to Modern Warzone. So this means that they have done work to potentially implement this. It's not something that's confirmed to be in the game. So definitely don't, mix up those two and base your conclusion off of that. It simply is something they've looked into and at least built up a framework and a groundwork, blueprint for, I guess you could say. And if that scenario does come to fruition, it's just not going to be great for Warzone, in my opinion. And if you go and read the responses to that tweet, it seems like it's the mutual opinion of a lot of players. Basically just because it takes away from the point of gameplay. I know for one, I'm not a big Fortnite player. I do think they do awesome things and they're definitely very innovative in this space, but in the few times that I've gone back and played Fortnite in the past year or so, since whenever they've added in bots, you can play these games and it's like, okay, there's a squad in front of us, we're gonna push them, we take them out, and it's like, that felt really rewarding. Oh, they weren't real players, they were bots. So those kills don't really mean much to me anymore. I thought I was doing something cool and like actually outplaying someone and outbuilding someone or outmaneuvering someone, and I didn't. I just played better than the AI, whose program did not be very good to begin with. Now, take that situation in a COD. All right, you just, got a crazy snipe on a player from 300 meters, or you had some crazy movement and finessed a player and outsmarted them and got the kill or clutched up for your squad. Oh, you did it against AI? Well, that's kind of meaningless now. That doesn't really prove much. That kind of takes away from the importance of getting those kills in game and getting those wins. When you dumb down the the enemy opposition there's just very little meaning into the actual gameplay there. So while again, this is not something that is confirmed to be in the game, it's simply speculated about, it's rumored, and it has been apparently talked about and developed a little bit internally. It is something that could potentially happen to Warzone if they continue, developing it and building on the framework. And that's just not going to be a fun end game if that's the case. I would love to get your guys' thoughts and opinions on this. Do you think AI players have a spot in Warzone or in Battle Royale replacing real players? Should it be left simply to real players? Like, I feel like they're partially doing this because I'm sure part of it is they just want to make sure all the lobbies fill. You always have the max player count in a lobby. You're not struggling to find 100 other real players, so they just fill it up with bots, and then you can go ahead and play. But again, that just takes away so much from the core values of gameplay that it ends up being, more harmful than helpful. So, make the necessary updates to bring players back to your game, and lobbies fill up just fine. I'm sure there's also other aspects to it than just that. Maybe the lowest of the low of the lowest skill bracket possible, the players who just do not have the ability to get kills consistently. Perhaps those in sort of like a training mode almost have bots alive so that you could, have a chance of getting some kills there. Those are players, though, that would never be in lobbies with semi-competent and semi-competitive players, right? It'd be its own restricted, like, skill-based threshold, I guess. I can see bots being implemented in those games, but general gameplay for pro-tier skill-based matchmaking, for mid-tier skill-based matchmaking, in my opinion, they just don't belong, and I truly think that would just be a huge step back for Warzone if it's something that ever comes to fruition. But again, would love to hear your thoughts on it down in the comments below. That said, that is going to wrap things up for this one. If you enjoyed the video, do me a favor, drop a like on it, would be really appreciated. And if you're new here, you want to guarantee that every single day you are up to date with all things going on in Call of Duty, be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on those post notifications. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, I'll catch you later. Peace out.